Hello, good morning on a Tuesday, and I do know that it is Tuesday. I don't actually, I'm like completely confused with what day it is. I have the calendar out so I know what's going on. It is Tuesday the 1st. Right, it's the 1st of July. We're going to sort things out. I mean, anybody who's coming on here to find out how to do eBay probably shouldn't be listening to me. Honestly, look at the state of my hair. I think I should just knock this off and just do my roots today. Right, anyway, washing machine is just finished. It is late. It's gone 1 o'clock. There's a band performing, which is a vast improvement to the other band. I mean, I know I'm probably biased because they're doing renditions of Rob Zombie. Badly, but not as bad as the other girl who used to do like Screaming. So there's a college over there, so it's their end of term thing that they do to like say thank you to everybody. And frankly, the amount of people who are on that football pitch explains a lot as to why there's such an awful parking situation over there. Anyway, worked yesterday, working tomorrow, working Friday, Saturday, so I only got today and Tuesday. Today is Tuesday and Thursday. I am off work next week. I was going to take time off for my birthday, but I haven't done that, so I've done it the week prior to it because my friend is coming up. So I'm going to go and see my friend. I've just rang and booked my car parking for where we are. I've actually saved money on this. So we booked into a place in York because we realised, I mean, we've been together 18 years and we've never actually been to York together, which would suggest I haven't actually been to York for donkey's years. So this hotel that we're in, £130 a night, and I have paid for it with my Tesco coupons. So I had lots and lots of Tesco coupons, which are actually still pinned on the board there, so I must take them down, otherwise I'm going to be annoyed if I try and use them. We've had to pay taxes and fees, which the coupons didn't pay for, but it's been pretty much free except for like 50 quid of fees. I mean, it's an expensive hotel, so it better be good. We need a bleeding breather. Evidently I am running out of ink because it's done that. Anyway, eBay sales are crap. Things are just pretty diabolical. So my feelings is what I am going to do today, and I say I've started, what I mean is I've deleted listings. That's quite a simple thing to do. I started deleting them at the tail end of June. The stuff which was coming to an end, I didn't let it relist, although some of it I have let it relist. Made some decisions about things which are not being relisted. I had a load of Vogue magazines, and the ones which have sold, as far as I'm concerned, are going to have sold. Like the ones that had Taylor Swift on the cover, the one that had Ariana Grande, Naomi Campbell and things like that, they've sold. I've got some that haven't sold. They're not going to sell for much, so they're going. I am not going to use my listings up on stupid things anymore. And yeah, I'm going to try and list some stuff on my personal eBay. Well, I have listed some things on my personal eBay. I haven't sold anything on my personal eBay. Our personal eBay is like my personal Vinted. I only have one Vinted because I'm no good at it. So I just don't know what to do. And some of the videos that I've watched on how to achieve what you want to achieve on Vinted suggest that you just sell everything for £1, which I probably will do because there's a lot of stuff which I just want gone from my eBay. So that's what I'm going to do this month. I am going to do a sell similar and send everything live and really like pull out the crap, put that on Vinted, give it its last chance saloon and Vinted, and then it will be donated. Which I have done that before. I've done that in sort of like, I did that in May, which is why I made some sales in May. Yeah, so I was ill April, and subsequently, because I was ill in April, I did the same thing where I ended all my listings, and then I sent them, I just scheduled them to go live again. And that made me have a stonking May because everything was fresh. So I'm hoping I'll have like a stonking July. It's possible that I won't, but it's a good exercise to do, especially on the slow down. I'm not listing enough. I've just looked at my calendar, and clearly I have another calendar there, not just that calendar. I have one that I put my listings on. I haven't listed anything since. Oh, good, cannabis. My neighbour. I need this cannabis. Yeah. You can. Ugh. Anyway, this apartment's going to burn down. Yeah. You know how apartments are supposed to be like sealed units. You know, that's what they said about Grenfell Tower. So if your fire starts in a sealed unit, it's not supposed to go anywhere other than the apartment block, which is bullshit, because I can sit in my bathroom and smell cannabis, and that is the central room of the house with no windows. Go figure. Yeah, so my goal is to have a stonking July by relisting everything. That's what I'm going to do. There's nothing more to it. Pull out all the rubbish. That's what I'm going to do. What do you think we're going to get next? Oh, anyway, yeah, I'm all over the place. I've got new stuff to photograph there. Obviously, it was like steaming hot yesterday, so I didn't really get much done. I did listing in the morning. I've got stuff waiting to list. I have books. I think I might put my books, because there are a lot of them on my personal books. I might just put them on my personal eBay. I just don't know what I'm doing. I need to focus, and there is literally no focus. So I'm going to clear my head, and I'm going to post this one item that I've sold. So this is folk. This is a shirt, short sleeve shirt. It's not linen, I don't think. I think it might be linen and cotton. That might just be cotton and linen. So that's sold on my coupons. My coupon ended yesterday on eBay. It's all just a little bit rubbish, and I think everybody thinks it's rubbish. eBay should always remember who they are. Now, my colleague, she said something about the Rolling Stones. I can't even think what it was. She was talking about some member of the Rolling Stones who is trying to like emulate what the youth were doing, and the other member of the Rolling Stones is, why are you doing this? Because your next generation are only doing what they're doing because they're copying you. So why would you try and copy what they're doing when they're copying you? That's what eBay need that word with them. Vinted wouldn't be doing what they're doing if they weren't copying what eBay were doing. So why are eBay copying what Vinted are doing? So many frustrations. Anyway, my head's frazzled here. Okay, so I'm going to take my post. This sold for 20. Should have sold for 25, but it sold on that coupon. Possibly shouldn't have bothered having a coupon running. Just getting the sellotape. Probably shouldn't have bothered having a coupon running because it would have sold anyway. So all the stuff which I have, the marginal amount of things which I've sold at the end of this month would have probably sold anyway for full price. So I've just, because the stuff which I've sold are the two, like I sold a Marks and Spencer's really nice cotton dress in white. That would have sold anyway. I sold a really nice cotton monsoon dress yesterday, which was up for $29.99. So that was sold for $23.99 on the offer. So all of these things would have sold, but I you know, they've ended up going on coupon unnecessarily. So we won't be putting any more coupons on. We're just going to let it run as well. We've got a job. We don't need to worry about this. We're just going to concentrate on eBay, concentrate on getting that right, concentrate on weeding out the rubbish, put that on Vinted. That's what we'll do. We've got personal stuff which I've got to list. I thought she'd been relegated to the sands of time, and here she is. This college needs to tell people that just because they can do something doesn't mean that they're good at doing something. If I ever do have a child, I will instill so much knowledge in them. Never compare, just be yourself, but also listen to somebody that say shit. See all the comments now at what I'm saying. You are shit at YouTube. That I know. That I know. But I'm not like fantastic at this. Anyway, yeah. I didn't list enough last month. I think I must have listed like a marginal amount of things in like the first and second week. And according to my calendar, I haven't done enough. Right. I'm going to go to the post office and take this because I am not listening to this. Hopefully, by the time I get back, this will disperse because I need the door open because it's freaking summer. Right, let's see what we can get done. Hello. Okay, right. No makeup. Terrible face. It's Thursday. It's Thursday and I thought I was going to have a relaxing morning and dye my hair. So I have the blonde. I have the bleach. And then I was just like, just check what the hair dyes I've got, which colours. When I bleach, I look horrendous, especially since I'm only going to be doing roots, which I like that. I was going to do them like some weeks ago, and then I thought I'll give it a little bit longer. So I've got to do this roots. And even if I just did like main bleach, I look terrible in it, and I hate this blonde anyway. But anyway, yeah, I'm out of actual Bordeaux. Bordeaux is the colour I use, which comes out like a purpley pink, like reddy pink on me. So I need to go and buy some more of that because it's completely counterproductive. I did think, I've got cyclamen pink, but I haven't even got that apparently. And I have stuff to post, two of which are quite expensive items. I'm not that thrilled with the idea of putting it in at the other post office. Since my other post office started, this post office which I use all the time, which it's like the world is working for me, because they literally opened just a few weeks before I started my job over there, halfway between my workplace and here. They're absolutely fantastic, and I don't think I've touching wood, if you can even call this floor wood. I think I've had like 2 things go missing, and I used to get stuff go missing all the time when I put it in over there. Maybe it was just a pandemic thing because it was like hectic. But anyway, the other, and then I used that one like previous to the pandemic. Yeah. So previous to the pandemic, I used to use that one, but they were very weird. Is that even before we went into lockdown, they closed without explanation. So they were quite frustrating, and I stopped using them ever since. Even though they were all right, but that was when I was clearing my brother out because they always used to ask about my brother. And they probably will ask about my brother, even though I've told them that he died. I have been there anyway. Anyway, irrelevant. I've got to go and buy hair dye, so I've got to go over there. I've just spent an inordinate amount of time trying to find a box that would fit this, and it turns out that the old Walker's Crisp box that you can't really get, I think you can get these. It's just they alternate which ones they have in Tesco. Look at that. I need to take it out because I need to put bubble wrap at the bottom of it, but I spent loads of time like furfling into the corner to get a decent box out, and then realised that this one, which was sat there with something else in it, another project which I haven't done, is so frustrating. And I am having an ordeal in that room every time I go in there because I'm just not on top of everything. I just can't. I just don't even know how I'm going to get on top of everything because it's now flipping July. So I had a flurry of sales last night. I was like starting to wonder what the hell was going on. So July the 1st was a no sales, and then I was thinking, looks like the 2nd of July is going to be no sales. And then I've sold this 60 quid, which is probably pushing it for this now. Thank you, J.K. Rowling, for ruining your reputation and ruining it for resellers. So should have been able to get 80 for this, for the fact that it's boxed, it's got instructions. I mean, it's not a great box. Last time I sold this, it was probably closer to Christmas, I got 80 for this. So frustrated. Oh yeah, it isn't that great, is it? Because I've had to, although I have got the instructions, one of the pages was missing. Oh no, it wasn't even that. It had been printed wrong. So it's a fully intact. It's fully intact, but it's got 2 number 6 pages. So if you see, look, number 6 and number 6. So yeah, it's actually so I've got page 4 and 6, 4, 5 and 6, and then you get it again 4, 5 and 6, and then one of the pages is flipping missing. So I've got 2 pages of one, and then one is missing. So I've had to print them in. So that's probably what's been detracting from it. I don't know. I haven't even been like. That's been listed for a while, and I just, oh God, it's just waiting for Christmas, isn't it? Because it's just one of those things. I have been so lax with my Lego anyway. Usually when I'm doing my Lego on a regular basis and I've got multiple things of Lego coming out. What's the amount of Lego that you have? Multiple sets of Lego. It's sort of like it helps the whole category. But anyway, yeah. So I'm pleased to have sold that now when I haven't got the 20% coupon on. So this is Dumbledore's office. This is one of the very first ones. This is a 2001 edition, which I just know, but it's got the Argos sticker over it because everybody who works at Argos is doing. You know, I go to Argos to pick up my click and collect, and the other day I thought I'll just go before work. So starting work at 11, and it was 10 to, and I was like, I can definitely get my click and collect before I have to start work. And I stood there. There were some other people there, and there was nobody in sight. And I asked one of the customers, I was like, is there anybody actually here? And she said, yeah, getting somewhere. And then this woman appears, lumbers through with no urgency at all, and I'm thinking, I'm gonna have to go because I'm supposed to be in work. And she sort of like lumbers around and then deals with this other person, and then I'm like, I've got a click and collect to pick up on eBay. I've got eBay to pick up eBay. You know, for which they then have to get their handset and log into their eBay on their handset before they can even scan the barcode and go looking for this thing. And she comes back with the parcel, and she's got to type in this 16-digit code, and she's got massively false nails on. Ridiculous, and she can't type it in, and it took like 2 or 3 minutes for her to type this code in, and I was just thinking, you have got to be kidding me. Here I was thinking I could do this and grab a sandwich and get to work on time, like before I was supposed to start, and I've got you here going, it's that sideways thing. Oh, I just, the amount of things that people waste money on. I mean, my nails look awful, but I think this is the thing. And we were having this discussion the other day about hair dye, and somebody was talking about the fact that they go and have their hair done. They don't use a box dye. I don't use a box dye. I'm going to use actual like powdered bleach and peroxide cream because it's cheaper and I know what I'm doing. I mean, it's going to be a farce, and I don't like doing it. This is what I've got. This. This is my new hair dye T-shirt, which I've just relegated because the print has come off it. Thank you, ASOS. And my workmate was talking about how much she spends on her hair dye. Now, the last time I had mine professionally done, it cost me £190 for them to bleach it and then put my hair dye on. And I got there at 10 o'clock and I didn't leave until 4. And I was just like, I have paid £190, wasted the day. The result is less than what I can do. So I will never pay for somebody to professionally dye my hair again. I had it professionally dyed just before my wedding. But that I knew that they wouldn't be able to achieve what I like to achieve. And I wanted something that I could actually go swimming with on my honeymoon. So I did something lesser then. Certainly didn't pay 190. 190 I paid like 2021 someplace up there. Seemed like a good idea because obviously we hadn't had a haircut because of lockdown. And it was just a farce because they kept like lightening it and they were like, it's not light enough. And I was just thinking, have you actually ever dyed hair before? Why are we here? Why am I in this chair with the agonizing pain of bleach? And then because you apparently you can't get it white enough. Oh, it was just aggravating, and I will not do it again. I mean, I can't imagine spending 150 quid every month or every 6 weeks on my hair dye. It ain't happening. What a waste of money. Well, a waste of money doing your nails is. I mean, I work. So I've got horrible nails. I don't really do anything with my face. I mean, all of this stuff shows. Anyway, I've got to go and get this hair dye. Yeah, so the sales that happened yesterday. Please do sell that off, not off my coupon. I have then. Let's do the mediocre sales. This was the first thing that sold. This is like a size 24, I think. This is Marks and Spencer's. Let me move this coffee out of the way before I dunk it in there. I expected to sell this last summer. I've had this for ages. And why? I don't know. I think this is the problem with eBay, isn't it? The problem with reselling is everything's sort of like sticking around a lot longer. I feel like this has pockets, but it hasn't. So this is a strappy vest top. It is Marks and Spencer's. Every time I go to look at it, I can never find the freaking label. Marks and Spencer's. Size 22. Hence why it's big. That's gone for $14.99. What did I wash that in? That's nice. I would have washed that last year as well. I mean, that's testament, isn't it, to whatever it was that I washed it in. If it still smells from last year's wash. This is a Keith Haring t-shirt. It is supposed to be cut off. It's supposedly like a finished hem. It's got that on the back. This is actually Primark. 2XL. It just goes to show, doesn't it? It's the big things that sell. Yeah, look. Primark. That sold for 10 something, so that is not even a good sale. And then these, I have been waiting for so long to sell these. I think I got it all around my neck initially because I thought that these were actually leather, and they're not. They're PVC coated, but they're so similar to leather. But there's nothing in here telling me. I've been all around this. There's nothing in here telling me the size There is stuff selling me the size is there. There's nothing in here telling me the fabric content. Now usually Rob, so this is what it is. This is very niche. So Rob Amsterdam, they are a leather specialist, and that is usually what they do. So I just assumed that they were leather, and I should know because I have worn leather, and I should have known when these were quite easy to wash that they weren't leather, but I didn't even think about it. So I amended my listing so that they were under the 100 mark. So I've sold those for £71, and then they've spent 30 odd quid for them to go to America. And now, I mean, I really hope that they don't get stung for tariff or whatever it is. So I'm going to put it in one and then put it in another in case it escapes the poly bag on the way. So yeah, I'm really pleased with that. So it went from like, I was getting really like tetchy yesterday, and then suddenly everything went right. I saw 2 Royal Mail vans which crossed my path, so it's the equivalent of a black cat crossing your path. So it's all good. What else was I going to say? Those were a relist. So I relisted, ended and sold similar, and those things have already gone live. That's what I did on the 1st of July. So I did my skirts and I did men's trousers. Men's trousers category seems to have 5 things in it. 2 pairs of Levi's, 1 pair of shorts, those trousers which have just sold, and a folk pair of chinos. I know, a category is lacking its stock if you know exactly what you've got in there. I do like to do this exercise. Where I go through my box. So this is the next one that I'm going to do. This is women's bottoms. Obviously not. So the women's skirts were in with the men's trousers box because there's not enough in there, but they're all bottoms. And these are women's shorts and trousers. So this is the next category that I will be doing. I could actually show you how I do my how I do this and how I know which one is the next one to do. I mean, it's pretty obvious, and since I did this last time on the 1st of May, this is pretty easy and I can go through, but I do have a system. Let me show you my system. So I have a diary. I did have this in a smaller diary, but I changed it over to this one because sometimes it just needs something a little bit bigger. So this is where I am with everything. These post-its need renewing because I've used these for like the last year or so. So the sticky on them is failing because usually I have them at the top so that I know which one is the oldest thing. So this is my oldest listing at the moment, women's trousers and shorts. So once I've done that, I will take that post-it out from the May section and I will put it over here where I have done it. That's what I've done so far this month, which is all my sundries like books and CDs, men's trousers and skirts. So they're sitting on that. I've got quite a busy page with it because so much has gone live. I send 10 things live per day, and then the rest of the stuff is in there. My categories are getting smaller and smaller, so I just move these post-its down to the next part of the diary, and then I know that I'm taking off the oldest stuff first. This should work quite well this time because obviously everything's gone from the 1st of the month. It should be just an easy do. It doesn't so much matter if you're on a featured shop, but I am on basic shop, so I like to not have to spend as much on listings as I have to. So I put a lot of thought into this now that I'm on a basic shop, so that I don't spend more money on listings than I need to, which is a bit of a faff, but it's saving me 50 quid a month realistically. so I don't so much mind the faff that it is. That box is just entirely full of bubble wrap, in case you were wondering. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing. I'm sure that's, obviously you can go on what's ending soonest on eBay app. I mean, the eBay app is a godsend. Let's face it, everything about eBay works 100 times better than Vinted. Vinted, I think people who use Vinted and think it's the better platform need to probably give their head a wobble, because I've had no luck with it and I don't like it, and I find it hard to find what I want to watch shopping. But you see, saying that, because eBay are trying to emulate what Vinted are doing, I was struggling like fuck yesterday because I was looking for something very specific on eBay and I couldn't find it because they've tried to make themselves more like Vinted and made their search engine, they have a perfect search engine, and they've now imported half the stuff which Vinted use and have made their platform diabolical. Right, I'm going to stop babbling on because I'm just going down tangents. And I'm missing 10 to the top. I know. Yeah, I'm missing 10 to the top. Who cares? So they tried to imply the other day, because the only day that I managed to put it on was the day that apparently Vernon Kay was stuck on a train. But he's often stuck on a train. Vernon Kay trying to get in to his radio show is like an advert for why we should not use public transport. Because he is often not there, and you've got Gary Davis on. 100% they pre-record 10 to the top. I've rang into a radio show before, and they pre-record it an hour before it goes online. So trying to saying, it might not be on today. Well, of course it's not on today, because if he's not here, you haven't pre-recorded it an hour ago. You didn't pre-record it on a train, so his ain't on. I thought this strappy little top was a small strappy little top, but obviously it isn't because of the size of it. Right, anyway, I've got to pack up this Lego set, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to walk around looking like this. I mean, I'm filming this for prosperity, so I look awful, so I am going to go and get my hair dye so I can actually sort this out. Yeah, I will be back to show you my wonderful hair, which will probably also involve me having pink all over my scalp. Okay, right, it is Friday. I am literally just about, I'm walking out of the door as we speak. I'm walking out of the door as we speak to work. I've got to put my socks on and my shoes. And then I realised that I came home, I just I did my hair and then I cracked on with work. So obviously I still have a pile there. I've done some of that. That's like new listings. I've worked on doing my relists. Jesus, I think my feet are getting fat. I think these are the things that they don't tell you. These are the alarm bells to me that I'm getting bigger. Maybe it's that wash powder. Yeah, but the wash powder is not the fact that I'm getting cankles. Yeah, so I have done end and sell similar on trousers. So everything's in a box. Make sure that everything's in there. Make sure that everything's listed. They're scheduled to go live again as sell similars over the next week. I have also done jumpers
and coats. I am ending, as this sort of like coming up in the next few days, women's tops, and then I will do that. And then I think I also have to do dresses, so that will happen on Sunday, because then we're going away, which I kind of hoped that I wouldn't have to do that, but I will have to do that with the dresses, and then they won't go live until now next week, because I'm scheduling 10 a day. So it has killed my store. I did half expect to have something to post this morning, but no. Even though I've done new listings, it doesn't make a blind bit of difference. But then I've done 5 a day and scheduled again. I don't know. So my shop looks pretty empty because you know, everything's ending and then going into the cycle to relist. So it will all get a good refresh. It's just you go through a stage where it all seems like you've made a big mistake because everything goes really quiet, but you know, you've got even less to sell. Right, anyway, I have to go to work. This is Bordeaux. I mean, you wouldn't believe it. I'm not happy with, I mean, although I've done my routes, I've again missed loads of bits, so I'm gonna have to like concentrate on this side. But the thing is, I really did think that I had done a good job, but I haven't, because I've missed loads of bits here. Obviously got the main bit of the route, but where I was being probably too tentative, I've been too tentative because I didn't want to I don't want to get it on the bits that have already got bleach on. But then I'm like too tentative and I don't paint it. But I find, because I'm doing it myself, and you know, you're trying to section in it, yeah, I'm not very good at it. But at least this side of my head won't get breakage. This side will get breakage because I've done all right on this side. I seem to just, is it because of, you know, dominant hand bias is the reason that I don't do very well on that side. So next time I do my bleach, I'd have to make sure that I do the left side properly, because it's always this side that I muck up. Right, anyway, this is me going to work. I haven't had a good night's sleep, and I did snooze the alarm, and I'm just all over the place because I often list stuff in the morning, and I certainly haven't today. I'm all over the place. Yeah, so I'm working today, I'm working Saturday. Anyway, I really need to fold this video up, because this is the trouble. When I don't do like a video and then upload it and then I have to edit it, it just becomes huge, and then I forget to do it, and then you'll have an entire week with no videos. So we're going to draw a line under this, and we're going to get this one on YouTube. So anyway, you know that because you're watching this. Anyway, thank you for watching. Yeah, do all the stuff, subscribe, do all of these things. If you like me. I mean, yeah, if you like me. This is so not Bordeaux. Can you imagine if you ordered a Bordeaux in a restaurant and poured it out into the glass and looked like this? You'd be like, oh, I don't want to drink that. It's so not Bordeaux. Right, anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll be back again soon. Goodbye.